Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Rewind that. It's your girl, Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live, like I am. And if this is a replay for you, hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. So today, guys, we are talking about The Watcher. And what I'm going to do with The Watcher is I'm going to be reviewing it or recapping it episode by episode. So tonight we are just going to be talking about episode number 1, and that's called Welcome, Friends. As creepy as such a lovely greeting is supposed to be, yeah, it's freaking creepy, okay? Anyway, guys, let's get into this. As my friends come in, I will be continuing on with the recap, okay? Hi to Jeremiah and Stream Elements. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, guys, so please, no spoilers. I have not finished watching it, okay? And hello to Little Rock 1822. All right, so before I get into everything, I just want to do like a little layout, okay? Because it was a lot. And I was thinking about doing 2 episodes, but we have to really unpack this one, okay? So we have a family and they're called the Brannocks, okay? And they didn't move into this house yet. They're going to an open house to see how it looks and everything, to see if they want it. They're from New York, so they're looking for a safer place to raise their children, okay? Now, when they get to this house, first of all, they're very excited. When they get to this house, there's a lot of creepy things going on, okay? Now, what I want to say before I get to my little layout, because when I start doing my whole laying out the foundation, I'm going to pretty much skip over this guy. So I just want to kind of just focus my attention on this guy for a minute. If you are watching American Horror Story, he is the actor that plays Gino, okay, one of the main characters. But in this story right now, we don't know who he is or what significance he has to this story. But this series is based on a true story that I don't know anything about, and I'm not going to look into it until after I watch the whole thing, okay? So, because I would like to compare it and everything afterwards. But he's just staring out the window, all right? And he's just silent, doesn't say anything, and we don't see him anymore after that. And I thought that that was very odd, okay? So now let me go to laying of the foundation. So like I said, the Brannock family, they go to an open house and we see that the house is really big. And we see that, we hear that it's by a lake and they have access to a lake because this is what the husband, Dean, is advertising to his family. All right, so when they get inside, we see that it's a beautiful home, but the people in the house are weird, okay? The wife, Nora, like she sees this. At first, I thought it was a little girl, okay? But we find out later that this is Jasper's sister. And she's wearing like this Amish or nun looking kind of outfit. And she's just standing there, stoically. It was just really creepy how she was just standing still on the lawn, and then she turns and walks away. Now, this is what Nora, Dean's wife, sees, okay? But anyway, we also see that the wife, Nora, she knows the realtor whose name is Karen. Okay, so that seems to be a plus because she has like a friend in the new town that they're probably going to move into. All right. Now, the husband, Dean, he also sees this couple across the way. They're on the next house over. They're chilling on their lawn, on the lawn chairs and taking in some sun. And Dean says hello, just trying to be a friendly potential neighbor. But they do not say hello back, okay? Like, they just looking at him all mean and stuff. So for me, that was a red flag. Exactly. It is what it is. Red flags, okay? So this is all they're seeing when they go to see this house. A bunch of freaking red flags. And I don't know about you guys. Clearly, it is what it is. And I are on the same page that it would have been time to go at this point. Like, okay, beautiful house, but don't know about these freaking neighbors. Okay. Now, Dean, he still wants to make an offer. He's so in love. He doesn't care about all the signs that it's showing. So when he sees Karen outside, he's like, I want to make an offer. And she's like, okay, well, that's not a problem. You know, there's two bidders. So all you have to do is outbid and, you know, go over asking. That's what she said. Go over asking and dig deep. Okay. So she says that, right? So now Dean goes to his accountant and he's like, oh, I gotta have this house. I need this house. It's got a lake and it's safe. People don't even lock their doors. And I was like, okay, people don't lock their doors. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, why do you think that it's okay to want to go to a place where they don't lock doors? I mean, I don't care where we are in the world. And I don't care if it's mentioned as one of the top 10 safest places in America and all of this stuff. And I don't care about that. I'm locking my doors. I'm keeping my head on the swivel. Like, I'm not sleeping. Like, that's the problem. And I kind of feel like a lot of times this is when certain things happen. You're like, come on, like, y'all watch certain shows, right? On like ID or whatever, you know, those shows, them freaking mystery shows where, oh, nothing ever happened. It shocked the neighborhood and all this because they never heard of anything before like this, blah, blah, blah. Don't be a fool and not lock your doors. Like, really? So I was happy, guys, at this point. When the accountant says no place is safe, okay? Something can happen anywhere. You know what I mean? Plus, you can't afford this house and it's because of your bankruptcy, remember? But Dean is like, oh, that was 10 years ago. And the accountant or lawyer or whatever the heck he is saying, you still can't afford this, okay? It's too big of a loan for you and your family. You don't have the salary for it right now. So Dean is like, okay, well, maybe the loan doesn't have to be so big. Maybe we can cash in all our savings and the IRAs, right? And, you know, for this big lump sum. And this way the loan doesn't have to be so big, right? And so the accountant says, okay, you know, but you're taking a big risk. And Dean says, I'll do anything to get this house. And it was kind of, you know, eerie and everything, you know, the camera zooming in on him and stuff. And it was just very weird. Okay. And it kind of reminded me of his role. I don't know if you guys ever saw Boardwalk Empire, and he was like a hot mess on that show. But it reminded me of that because he was pretty crazy on there. So he just kind of brought me back. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, guys, before we move on, let's take a step back for a moment and talk about a few creepy things before we move on, right? So we have Jasper. Okay, so I don't know if you guys noticed. Jasper's sister introduces him, but she doesn't introduce herself. She just, I mean, I rewinded it and I don't know if I missed it, but she never said her name. She said that she is the president of the preservatory. I had the word before, okay, but now I don't know what the heck is going on, okay. But she is the president of this preservatory society or something, preservative society or something like that. I'll get it right the next time, right? If I don't have it right now. But she introduces Jasper and we see that he has this obsession with this dumbwaiter, okay? Now, Jasper says something very freaking creepy and I just could not let that go. He says, instead of saying hello to Dean, he says, a baby skeleton has 100 more bones than an adult skeleton. And I was like, what? What the heck? And what do you know that for? You know what I'm saying? What are you, like, what have you witnessed? You know what I'm saying? It was just very freaking creepy, okay? Jeremiah says that he got into his conspiracy bag with this show. Yes, okay. Everybody was just looking very suspect at the whole freaking neighborhood. But we're gonna talk. All right. So I wanted to also point out this right here. I don't know if you guys noticed this as well. All right. Am I bugging? Like, doesn't that look like somebody is standing in the window, like in the curtains? And the way the daughter, her name is Ellie, but the way when she was coming up the stairs, this is during the open house. When she was coming up the stairs, she kind of stopped as if she saw somebody weird up in there or saw something weird, right? But she didn't say anything because what her father came behind and spooked her, right? But the camera is clearly showing us this freaking mirror with this reflection. And I was just like, okay, what in the world is happening in this freaking house? Okay. Then we also had a strange man, and I didn't get the picture of him, but he was asking if indentured servants built the home. And it was like, for what? Why do you care? I mean, that was like, okay, there's a lot of crazy, creepy people in this, not just in the neighborhood, but in the freaking open house. All right. Okay. So now it's 6 weeks later after the conversation that Dean has with his accountant. It's moving day. They've moved in the house, guys, and the people across the street are pissed. They see that they have ordered this grand piano, and they are not happy about that. And I'm just like, I don't understand what's the big deal. Okay, so they're talking and they're like, aren't we happy and all this? And the wife Nora's like, yes, we can breathe and all of this. And listen, I can attest to this, guys, that when you move from New York to down south, or just in the suburbs, it's really different. It's definitely a breath of fresh air. Like, it even cleared up my youngest son's asthma, who he had asthma a lot. Like, we were doing treatments all the time and all this. And when we moved out here, he outgrew his asthma, and it was very, very wonderful. Okay. So yeah, it's true. But they're happy, and she wants to, but they're still renovating after they put all their money into this house. They still need to renovate. She wants to add some more stuff in there. And he's like, no, we got to take it easy. No Target and no other place that she wanted to order stuff from. All right. So the daughter, all right, as old as she is, she puts on somebody's lipstick. She finds lipstick in a medicine cabinet. It's not yours, sweetheart. Now, I don't know how old you have to be to know that you should not be putting on somebody else's lipstick, okay? She puts on this lipstick, and, the parents, in the meantime, they're trying to get it on. And, this is a prime example, perfect example for people that are married or with someone and you have children, and they always screw things up when you're trying to get it in. All right. So he's like, mommy's coming. Mommy's coming. I'm sorry. I don't want to cough. Mommy's coming, whatever. Let me try not to laugh. Okay. So they go up, and she's like, I thought I heard a noise. And she thought that she heard music playing, but clearly there is nothing playing. All right. So the next morning, guys, the paper is delivered, and someone decides to open the door, bring themselves in, and it's Jasper's creepy behind. Okay. So one thing about Jasper, we learned that he doesn't have it all, right? He is developmentally delayed. Okay. So he brings in the paper, just drops it on the floor. No good morning, no nothing, like just all the way creepy. Okay. So now now Dean is like, hey, you didn't, she's like, I thought I locked the door, because he must have said something. Obviously, he said something about Jasper being in the house. And Nora's like, oh, I thought I locked the door. And he said, no, you didn't. Now, rewind back to what he said, and what he bragged to his accountant was that, oh, nobody locks the doors, but now you want the freaking door locked, right? Because you get creeps like this, and especially you move to a new neighborhood. Even if you did have that mentality, how about first get into the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, before you start getting all comfortable, unlocking doors. You don't know what the heck is going on. All right, so now the family gets a letter. This had me thinking Blue's Clues all the way. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from. Terrible freaking letter. Very creepy. Just about this person calling themselves the Watcher, and they're just watching the family. All right. The letter talks about how they are in charge of watching the house, and they know they are planning on finishing the basement, and how the basement should be scary to them. Like it wasn't done when you guys got in there. Have you ever wondered why it was left undone? All of these questions and stuff like that. But the creepiest part is when the letter brings up their children and how the Brannocks need to fill their house with young blood, and it also talks about knowing the name of the children so that they can call to them. The letter also mentions that it was greed that brought the children there. Okay, and at that point, it doesn't mention whose greed it is, right? But it's greed that brought the children there. All right. So now they go to the police station, and they are talking to this detective who is clearly freaking lazy, guys. He does not want to do anything. All right. And he's pretty nonchalant about everything. He tells them that Westfield is one of the safest towns in America. And he says that he's been on the force for many years, and there's been really no crimes, no murders, and maybe a few disappearances here and there, like that's nothing. If people disappear, that's a bad thing. All right. I mean, come on. He's going to say no murders, but like, it's like, all right, it was just a very stupid comment to make, and it didn't put nobody at ease. All right. He's really saying that there's nothing that he could do. But listen, they from New York. So Nora was like, listen, yes, you could. You can, do something by running DNA from the stamp that the guy used, I mean, the stamp that the sender sent. Okay, run the DNA. And the detective was like, okay, that's going to take about a month or whatever. And I'm like, wow. Anyway, so the detective, he does settle on that. And then he tells him that he's going to send over a squad car to ride by the house every few hours. And I don't remember ever seeing a squad car. You know what I'm saying? So then let's see what else. He tells them that he knows that they had to dig deep to get that house, so they want to make them feel welcomed and safe. And the wife, Nora, when they left, she was like, what do what do you think he meant by saying that we had to dig deep? And the only person that I remember saying dig deep, y'all, was freaking Karen. Okay, like she just has this thing about her that it don't make me feel good. Like it just makes me feel like watch her. Watch her. Watch her. You know what I'm saying? She is she's something else. So all right, so next we meet Mitch and Maureen. This is AKA Big Mo, okay? And they're over there picking arugula. Like here's the thing, guys, before I go get into this whole thing. Because he's looking at Dean is like, what are y'all doing on, because she's on his side of the fence, all up in his property. So what's up, One Shot Gaming and Art Love? So sorry, guys. So she's she's all up in his fence and everything. And he's like, what are you doing? And first of all, how did you get in here? And she was like, through the hole in the bush, like you would think you would look around and know anything before you freaking bought this house, And so, she's picking things, and she's like, listen, I am picking the arugula because it grew on your side. I planted it on my side, but it grew on your side. So my thing here, guys, is from this picture, it's not really clear of the distance that their houses are from each other. And if you can look across, because it is kind of like when you saw them walk away, it is kind of like across the street, right? But this house is considered behind theirs. All right. But there's like a kind of like a wide little street that they got to cross to get back over. And it's like, how in the world is this part, forget about the side, how is this part of the fence even their property at all? Like, how are, like, I was confused about that. Like, how are y'all able to even plant stuff on this side? It was very irking to me, you know. So like I said, they crossed the street and it's just like there's bushes right there in front of their house. Why can't they plant over there? It was just a weird thing. All right. So yeah, it is what it is. It says casually trespassing with an attitude. Exactly. All right. Remember, no spoilers for everybody that's coming in. I have not seen the whole thing, please. All right. So now he's basically saying, you know, he wants to know what the heck is going on. What are you doing over here? And, you know, she's trying to, she does have an attitude and she's like, you know, since you yelled, now to answer your question that you yelled, you know, she was just doing a whole lot. And instead of like apologizing for intruding on his side of the property, she says, "Can you tell your daughter to bring down the piano? Stop playing that piano." And then the husband is in the back doing his little ad lib, talking about some, yeah, get her a keyboard or something with some headphones. And it's like, how y'all gonna tell somebody how to live in their house? Maybe if y'all went inside your house instead of sitting on the lawn all the time watching their house, you wouldn't hear the daggone piano play. How about that? Go inside your house and you probably won't hear it. It most likely won't bother you. I mean, goodness. But the crazy thing about that whole request was that Dean was like, are you sure? Because we can't even get her to play it. So it was like, where the heck are you getting this? Like, how are you hearing anything? Because she's not playing it. So clearly, like the daughter, she heard some music playing in the house. They're saying they hear something as well. Okay. So the bottom line to this whole little scene, because this was actually on the like, if you want to watch like the trailer, I guess, or the little whatever I don't think this is like a part of the official trailer, but this scene right here is what hooked me to actually want to watch the show. All right. So yeah, so she's like, you know, if you would have been nicer, you know, we could have been friends. Okay. Because people around here, we look out for each other. But now I'm going to be watching you for other reasons. And I was like, oh gosh, she seemed like she is, you know, very well connected the way she was talking and stuff like that. Okay. But that's that, guys. You know, she's like, we're going to go inside and have the best effing salad in our lives or something. She said, Big Mo is something else. Okay, guys. So anyway, that's that. Get the heck off my freaking lawn is what the heck he should. I mean, he wanted to say, but he was, you know, whatever. So now we have Karen and what's her name, Nora. So Nora she went to Karen and tells her that they got this creepy letter. All right. And so she's like, you know, I think that it's probably the people that we may have outbid on the house. So do you think you could look at the list of names of the people that we outbid against? And so, you know, Karen's like, okay, she'll look it up. So I hope you guys know that this is the infamous MILF mom, okay, guys, from American Pie. Anyway, next, guys, freaking Jasper made his way back into the freaking house and gets his behind tossed the heck out. I'm sorry, he deserved it. I understand that he is someone who is developmentally challenged, but you didn't ask if it was okay, and not, your sister was responsible. She should have did that. You should have asked if it was okay. Did not ask. Okay, Jeremiah, I don't trust her either. Like, it's just one of those, like, watch her, keep your eyes on her. She's giving very weird vibes. Okay, so he gets tossed the heck out, and the sister's like, what happened? Was he in the dumbwaiter again? And you know, she's like, well, then, you know, the other people in the house, I mean, before that, the other owners, they let him go in there all the time. And even the people who owned it from the 1960s, they really loved the dumbwaiter. It's a national treasure. And they really loved that Jasper loved it. I was like, this is just ridiculous. Like, no one cares about all of that. Like, are you kidding me? Like, This is my house. I don't care what other people did before we got here. I don't want nobody in my freaking house. Like, are you dumb? So, yo, I swear I was cracking up when after she said that. Dean was like, if I find you in my house again, I'm gonna have you up, Jasper. And it was just, I'm sorry, it was just hilarious because I was not expecting it at all. It was definitely like New York meets suburbs, and it was just like, I'm telling you, this is how it is. It's not, that's not going down. I don't know what the heck y'all was doing, Downton Abbey or whatever the heck. But I don't care. And then she's like, oh, and I hear that you're doing all these renovations and this and that. And the Preservation Society, they don't want this to happen, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, how do you buy a house that a society can basically rule and tell you what you can't take out and this and that there? Because he's saying, I'm going to get rid of the dumbwaiter. Now I'm doing the basement over. I'm doing this and that. And she's like, oh, don't tell me you're going to cut down the trees and all of this as well. Starts going into trees, guys, and how somebody cut the trees. And I was like, this is too much, girl. Shut up. So he's like, how about you get yourself off my daggone lawn, okay? And she's another watcher. I'm watching you. So this is, at this point, it's building, like the suspense is building, and we've gotten this letter, and now you're just wondering who the heck the watcher is, because all these freaking, you got the creep squad around you everywhere you turn. You know what I'm saying? And then this house is just it's just a creep in itself. It's just crazy in and of itself. All right, so now we get this youngin. This is freaking, I was going to say Drake. This is Dakota, all right? And he is the security guy. He's coming in to install the cameras. So, he's going to charge them about $7,000. Now, look, I don't know how much it costs to install cameras, but I thought that was very steep, especially since they're already spending a whole bunch of money. So they're like, oh, wow, how are you able to, make it that cheap or whatever? And it's because this is his own business, and he's only 19 years old. So this is wonderful, a 19-year-old who he's tech savvy, and also he made a business out of it. I think it's wonderful, and this is where the money pit begins, guys, where they start putting money in. I mean, they're just dishing money out after this. This is the first sign of them dishing out money. And I'm just like, you get into this house, the way they got into it, we know the financial circumstances, and to stay in it and to be safe, they got to start doing all this stuff where they're just spending this extra money. We'll talk about it once we get to episode 2 and stuff like that, but it's just ridiculous. Okay. But now I'm looking at young Dakota sideways, and I'm like, do not disappoint me, young black brother. Please do not disappoint me, because you are the first black person that we've seen, and we don't need you doing anything stupid. Okay. He is looking at this little girl who's not even 15 years old. I'm sorry, she's not even 16 years old yet. Okay. And she lets him know, I'm jailbait. Okay, creeper. Jailbait. Anyway, so guys, Sprinkles is killed. Okay, the ferret that Dean decides to buy his son so he can be comfortable. Now, the ferret gets out of the freaking cage. I don't know why the cage wasn't locked or whatever, but he gets out of the cage. I just kind of knew something was going to happen to him. First of all, when you read the little synopsis, or like the paragraph that lets you know the info for that episode, it tells you that the family suffers a loss. I was afraid that it was going to be something way bigger than that, but it was the ferret, and I was very thankful for it. Okay. So unfortunately, the ferret's freaking head is it got bashed, guys, unfortunately. All right. And we have everybody watching, to me, all the suspects so far. Okay. You got Mitch and Mo. You got these creepers over here. I mean, just they're wearing clothes like they're from the Amish country. All right. Or just from way back in the day. And then you got this young guy. So all of these people right now, my eyes are just suspects, because I just don't know what the heck is going on. Right. So, of course, again, Detective ain't trying to do no work. Okay, so at this point, I'm thinking, detective, it's either you're lazy as crap or you know some things and you are too scared to dig in, or you're getting paid to leave stuff the heck alone. Okay, because this freaking idiot going to say, oh, well, first of all, it's not a crime because there's been no force of entry, no sign of force of entry. And the ferret must have he knew he sounded stupid by then because he was just trying to grasp at the freaking straws. Oh, the ferret must have uh banged his head, ran into the wall. I was like, are we serious? Are we freaking serious? And so was Dean. Like, are you kidding me? So the ferret ran into the freaking wall. He's only a pound and he ran into the wall and busted. I'm sorry. Once again, I gotta try not to laugh, guys. Whew, I cannot with this detective, guys. All right. So Jeremiah says that they all look like they are a part of a cult. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So next we have the uncle. I'm sorry, I said the uncle. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. So the father, Dean, is, he's coming and asking his son what's the matter. And when he said what's the matter, I'm like, what you talking about? What's the matter? His ferret just died. Okay. But Carter hits him with a different question. Like, are we safe here? Can you protect us? And so he takes him to, like, do the little code, set the alarm, the security alarm, to, I guess, to kind of show him that, yes, it's safe and all that stuff. All right. So we get to the next day and we see that the daughter is finally playing the piano, and it doesn't sound bad to me. So I don't really see what the issue is. Okay. Now, we got these folks outside mad in the freaking rain. And see, this is what I'm saying. If you are upset about them playing the piano in their own home, all you got to do is get out the rain and get your behinds in your house. Like, what the heck are you so mad about? This really pissed me off, guys. And the fact that she was so upset, like those effers, But here's the thing. I don't know if she's mad about the whole piano playing situation or the fact that they have cameras on the outside of the house, because right after she said this, we do see Dakota putting up the cameras. Okay. So I don't know. But let me see what One Shot is saying. So One Shot says this production seems to enforce the reason why you need to bear arms. Exactly. And I was thinking that, yes, as well. All right. So now we get to the nighttime and we get a creepy drive-by by Karen. And it was just like, really? What the heck is that all about? So here it is, guys. Once again, it's like, as I'm watching this, I'm seeing that everybody is just somebody to just have your eye on. You know what I'm saying? They talking about he watching the house, but I gotta watch all of these folks and see what the heck is going on. Okay. So yes, definitely Karen and Kins. Karens and Kins. Definitely. So now we get another letter. Okay. And this time the letter is letting us know, or letting the Brannocks know. Oh, first I gotta let you guys know that that Nora has joined the country club. Okay, I don't know what the heck that's gonna do for her life, but she does seem to be a stay-at-home mom. She does have a little business. She sells art or something like that. But for the most part, I believe that the husband, who is a lawyer, is the breadwinner. Okay, so she joins the country club, and this is where she's gonna be able to hang out with her friend Karen a lot. Okay, so like I said, they get another creepy letter from the Watcher, and this time the letter says that he knows the kids' names now, and it's Ellie and Carter, and he refers to them as the new blood that they brought him. Okay, the Watcher also asked if they found all the secret passageways in the house and if the young blood will play in the basement. Okay, or are they too scared to play in the basement? Will they go down there by themselves, because it's so far away from the rest of the house, and if they go down there, no one will hear them scream, like just saying all this freaking creepy stuff. You know what I'm saying? And the Watcher also tells them that he has been in control of the house for 2 decades now. All right. He says that the last family, kindly sold the house when he asked them to sell the freaking house. He also mentions that, the house is his new obsession, and so are you. I'm obsessed with y'all too, because I'm watching the house and now I'm watching you, and welcome to the product of your greed. Okay. Your greed is what brought no, he didn't say your greed. He said greed is what brought the last 3 families to 657 Boulevard. So my thing about this whole thing about the greed bringing them here is, you mean to freaking tell me that if I make enough money and I can get in the house, look, regardless of how they got in the house, they got in the house because they had savings, they had IRA, they did whatever. He pulled from his own money to get into that house, lower the down payment and whatever. Okay, yes, it was a risky thing to do, but it's his money. He wanted to get his kids out of the city. He felt like he was getting his kids into a safer neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and he should be able to do that without people bothering them. And now this person is saying it was your greed that got you here. So why is it okay for anyone, whoever had this house? So who deserves this house is the question. That's my thing. Who deserves to live in this daggone house that you guys want people to suffer because they moved in and they want nicer things with their money? I'm lost at all of that. Okay. But this is how the episode ends, guys. We got Dean reading the letter, and as the letter is being read to us, right? He's moving throughout the house frantic. He goes to the basement. Every place that the Watcher says in the letter, he goes frantically into those rooms in the house, right? Because I guess I don't know what the heck he's looking for. Maybe he thinks he's gonna run into the person or whatever. But he's looking all over the place. He's not saying anything. I think his kids are looking at him like, what the heck is wrong? Then the wife comes home and she's like, Dean, what's going on? He's not saying anything. And I was afraid that Dean was about to freaking get hit by a car and we wasn't going to watch the rest of the series with Dean in it. Excuse me. But these are my thoughts, honey. I was like, what is going on? What is about to happen? Okay. But that was a pretty good freaking episode, and of course I had to continue on to watch it. So I think I'm up to like episode 4. I'm thinking of doing a video of episode 2, a pre-recorded video of episode 2. So by the time we meet with each other again, I'm going to be further into it so that we're going to talk about a later episode than episode 2. Okay. So that is what we have to look forward to. And that is how the episode ended, guys. I appreciate you guys joining me. I'm back. I really missed you guys a lot. And I'm trying my best to, keep doing what I'm doing, even through this cold. I got better. I'm thankful, but the cough is still there. So I'm just trying to get all the rest that I can. There was a poll that went out. I know some people, they wanted me to do Atlanta, but I will do Atlanta on Sunday. We will catch up because I haven't put anything out with Atlanta, just episode 1. So we're going to catch up with that as well. All right. I always shine said, get the strap, come on now. That's an American Horror Story twist if he would have got hit by a car. And yeah, it was like, I was really scared. I was scared because I don't know what the heck to expect. And I don't know if you guys know the story, the true story behind this. I didn't even bother to look, and I'm not going to. When we go live for the finale or the last episode, then I will talk about. By then, I would have learned the real story, what that entails, and how it matches up, because you know how they have to dramatize everything. You know what I'm saying? But thank you guys for joining me again. I'm going to go and give myself some rest. You guys have a blessed night. I will see you in the next video. Thank you, Little Rock. It is what it is. I always shine. One Shot Gaming. Jeremiah. Latumba. And who else? I think I got everybody. Thank you so much. You guys take care and be blessed. Bye-bye.